Three, two, one. This is Radio Free Cybertron number 786, which is what, a Pentium 3? Is that right?
Yeah. That sounds right.
There you go. I'm Brian Kilby, and man, I remember we did 586. That was like the Pentium episode. We actually that I started the show out talking about that. I think
we probably did that for 486 too.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's not a Pentium though. That's 486.
No, but I mean, we would mention that because like we both had 486s of some stripe. I had a 46 DX Packard Bell.
I never had a 486.
I think we had the SX.
Yeah, I never had a 486.
I think that was a step below the DX, as I recall.
It was.
Well, we sure paid enough for that stupid Packard Bell with its 2 megabytes of RAM and 120 megabyte hard drive.
Yep.
In 1993.
Brian Kilby, Chris, Rob, Don is trying to say something. I'm not letting him.
We sell Packard Bell at service merchandise.
Yeah,
of course you did.
Take a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt and Diecast is here in studio with me, so it may sound a little different. And there's possible there could be a little bit of bleed over with the microphone, but we're so close that it shouldn't matter. So he's like a foot and a half from me. So Diecast, how do you like being in North Carolina?
I like it down here.
Food's
good.
My kids love Diecast. Like they call him Diecast. The 5-year-old called him Diecast, and like the 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old, she'll be 3 next week. She's like, "Good night, Diecast," as he walked downstairs. It was nice, very nice. In fact, the 5-year-old recorded a video last night singing "I love you, Diecast." I did not send it to him. I didn't want to subject him to it, but she did record a video about how much she loves him. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, Diecast is caught me here like mid work in the office. So like I have a bunch of empty spaces and like totes everywhere. But like most of my boxed stuff is up. Hopefully on video next week I'll have like loose things out too. But he made a suggestion. Like, you just need to get rid of these books and put toys there. And I'm like, I wish you hadn't said that because I'm going to do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to find a place. I'm gonna have to find a place for those books. I guess they could go in the other room. I could get another bookcase, but they're so heavy. I have to get a heavy duty bookcase for it. And if I do that, I might as well just put that in here and put toys in them. I don't know. But yeah, hey, so it's a pretty interesting week for toys. With some new stuff. I want to give an update on the HasLab going on right now. We have, let me tell you what it is, because we are so close.
Okay, so
no, we're so close. With right now, with 5 days left, we're at 1,322 backers. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. That's the lightsaber. We're at 14,411 backers with 40 days left on the HISS.
Yeah, so let's recap this. By the time we started recording the show last week, the HISS had fully met its minimum funding goal. Like, it was going to happen regardless.
And
then by
well
the
on its
early
way to the first stretch goal.
Yes, and by the early afternoon of the next day, it had hit its first stretch goal already.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, it hit the second one.
Yeah.
And then today it cleared the hurdle over the third one, and there's no way it's not going to hit that fourth one probably by next week.
Well, so the Sky Striker had like 16,000, but like this goal was different for it. I think that
it took a lot longer to get there.
It took a lot longer. They had to sweeten the pot, and that really not the flight attendants, whatever they are, the
crew.
The flight crew, that was like at 20,000, so it didn't get there. So the last stretch goal will be announced soon. I don't know if they don't know what it is, or it's just going to be so huge. But they had a teaser today with Cobra Commander announcing that it was happening. Like, that tells me what I would really love would be like another figure, but I just don't see that happening.
I thought they were going to do that thing that connects to the back of it. It's like extra missiles and stuff like that.
Yeah, they made some kind of like
trailer thing.
Trailer, like a battle pod or something, I thought.
Yeah, they've had like missile pods that tow behind vehicles, or the ASP, which is a whole nother vehicle, so I don't expect that to happen.
it'll be interesting to see what it is.
So the lightsaber, what's the stretch goal for that?
Let's check.
I don't think they have one.
Do they?
I think they've just wadded up those plans and thrown them in the garbage by now. So.
You know, I would love to see them like I'm not sure if it'd be a very good stretch goal, but like if they reach a certain amount, it's like you could take the box inside out and there's a battle diorama printed on the
No
inside
cardboard
of the box.
dioramas as stretch goals.
No. Well, I'm just saying.
I'm not opposed. Like, you know, we talked. I think we mentioned that last week that's crap. But you got to keep in mind that missile set, the G.I. Joe missile head command set, whatever, that like the Sears set that came out years ago that they redid. I mean, that's what that is. That's a cardboard set, and I think that's actually pretty sweet. So,
like, say it'd be like a generic Rocky outcropping where you've got the hiss waiting in ambush, and you've got like, you know, just so
and like especially too if they decide to just design something like that as this is in progress and say like, okay, we're going to give you a 5th stretch goal now, you know, hit 20,000 and you'll get this bonus thing.
So
like, everyone will know all the pre-planned things have been hit, so it won't matter that it's just a cardboard diorama for the last stretch goal.
So I'd been thinking about that. Like, why don't they just keep doing it? And, you know, it occurred to me, Diecast and I were having a conversation about that before. It's like, why couldn't they just keep adding them? I'm like, well, you know, it's like the more they make, the cheaper it gets. And I'm like, to a point, if they have an infinite number of them made, it doesn't go down to 0. So there's a point where it, you know, stops getting cheaper. I don't know what that point is, but I would like to see them continue adding stretch goals if they could. I think that would be great.
As long as they make sense, because I've seen a lot of people talking about this, because this is really probably the best run HasLab so far for the overall
for G.I. Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general,
it is one of the overall ones. Like the only ones that perform this well, I think, are the first Star Wars one, like the Jabba's sailing barge.
Galactus.
I don't know how the Razor Crest did.
Galactus
I don't know how the Razor Crest did, and the Marvel ones.
Right.
The Marvel ones always go quick.
Yeah.
But they also have to make sure they don't just add a bunch of, because a lot of people are saying this is the first HasLab to really make the stretch goals worth getting hyped and invested. If they start adding Rancor bone level stuff to this thing, it's going to take away a lot of the positivity for HasLab it's generating as being a viable source for actual stuff like this versus the place where Cookie Monster goes to die.
Yeah.
Cookie Monster.
Also, another thing that's not in their show notes, but I wanted to mention is, as of recording tomorrow, Mattel Creations or Creators or whatever the hell it's called, they'll throw up the Snake Mountain Mega Constructs set.
Oh yeah,
for like $300. And I was actually thinking about parting with my Castle Grayskull because I don't know that I'll ever put it together.
Mm-hmm.
But that popped up. I'm like, maybe I'll have 2 things I won't ever put together. But like, if it's Mattel Creations and I can't get it any other way, and they have not said yet, I'm not getting it from Mattel Creations. I'm not. I would rather pre-order it from a place like Amazon where I don't have to pay for it now because I have too many things I'm buying this month.
Did you ever assemble your Creo Terradrome?
I haven't assembled it yet. I was actually talking
So that's 3 things.
Oh no, it's way more than that. I got Voltron, Optimus Prime.
You didn't get the Mega Constructs. You didn't get the Technodrome, did you? The Mega Construct Technodrome.
No. But I've got the Enterprise. I got a lot of crap to put together.
I've still never put the Enterprise together.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful model once it's assembled.
I remember I saw Hey Mickey's.
But from what I remember of Hey Mickey talking about the assembly process, like it's a task. It is a task to put that thing together.
That's the difference between the Mega Constructs and the Legos. Is Legos has nice little pre-packed, like this is the pack you use for this step. Mega Constructs comes in like one
boxes.
big plastic bag, like thousands of pieces.
Yeah.
And you have to sort everything.
Well, it's like 2.
Difference.
It'll be like 2 or 3 bags, but yeah, it's not like a
there's multiple.
bag.
There's multiple bags, but they are not sorted to what they specifically go with, which is unfortunate.
But one goal for the space down here is once I get stuff out of the way, I'm going to put a table in specifically for Lego. And the 10-year-old reminded me today that I need to do that because she wants to help me build stuff.
And you remind the 10-year-old that no, darling, you're not going to help.
I did actually say that. Diecast was there for that. I think I did. I don't know. That was what I was thinking, whether I said it or not.
Use her to build the stuff that you'll never get around to.
But she'll
Like
do.
Castle
She won't do
Grayskull.
it. She won't do it. She'll like Yeah, she doesn't. She's not as careful. Okay. Don, what are you about to say?
I have to give Blade Gnome extreme props.
tfradio.net/discord.
Yeah, and a
Oh.
thumbs up for that because Rancor and Cookie Monster at Tanagra when the HasLab failed.
That's wonderful.
Very
Yes,
good.
That is very good.
We approve.
Let me look at the Discord. Why is Brian's background die-cast? That's great.
Also, we got some support in our Discord for the idea of the cardboard diorama options as a like bonus stretch goal.
I'd
on
buy
this
it.
tank.
Yeah. I mean, I'd
I
buy
thought that
anything.
was proof that Don's working for Hasbro to push that cardboard
I
diorama.
am not. If I was working for Hasbro in any shape or form, do you think some of the stuff that would have happened, or
You would
stuff
have no
that didn't?
control over it. So yeah.
So I mean, no, I have
So
absolutely.
Don,
no
so
say
the
at
thing about
Hasbro.
working in a corporate environment is, for the most part, you have no say so.
Or very little.
Very little. Very little. Not none, but very little. So, okay, I need to stop looking at big bad toy store because I don't need to buy anything. Let's look at. Okay.
The show notes.
Yeah, so I saw this today. It was just a tweet, and I don't even remember the source. I saw McFeely had retweeted it. There was a rumor of a live-action Transformer series for Paramount Plus.
Yeah, so the original source that's been cited for this is the Patreon page of someone who is said to be a reliable source for this kind of information.
Deathy.
But the post is locked behind, the pay tiers. So nobody who is not already a patron or is willing to put down like $5 can see what the actual original information post was.
I mean, I don't find this to be implausible.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's totally
No,
cromulent.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah. It does.
Potentially, yes.
Maybe it could be good. It could be.
I mean, there's always a
Could
chance.
be. Yeah. I mean, as long like
Big budget CGI shows on television budgets. No,
but like it'd be a smaller, more personal story which is honestly, I was gonna say Transformers is better that way.
awful.
Web World. That's a very personal story. Like you basically have two Transformers in it. It's more than that, but like,
That's not live action though.
But it's
I
the
mean-
best episode of Transformers ever.
Agreed, and it's not live action.
But I'll be honest. And again, this isn't everyone's cup of tea, and not everybody liked it.
No Miko Shodan.
No,
I know.
no. I want to say, if they approach it as like they did Agents of Shield, it wasn't perfect. I
I wouldn't
know,
watch it
I'd
'cause
fall
I've never
asleep halfway through the first season.
I've never watched an
Yeah,
episode of that, and I have no desire to.
but I think they were able to get a lot out of a Marvel Universe adjacent series on a TV budget by having a good cast of characters that were
I think
that you
Don,
enjoyed.
Don,
watching.
I think a better example of that would have been like Daredevil or Jessica Jones season 1.
See,
rather
I've
than
not
Agents
seen
of
those,
S.H.I.E.L.D..
so
They're actually good.
It's
I-
also
I've not-
it's also more analogous since those were discrete like 12 episode units,
Yeah.
and a Paramount Plus show would be probably 10
10.
episodes at most.
Okay, well, see, I haven't
And-
seen those. So
Actually, and-
More than likely 6.
I'm gonna go off topic for a second. Paramount Plus probably 10, I would say. I'm gonna go off topic for just a second. I had posted on Twitter a couple days ago how the quality of Strange New Worlds is unprecedented, especially first season.
So
Yeah,
good.
It is so good. It is the best first season of a Star Trek series ever. Even though the original series had The City on the Edge of Forever, which I still think is the best episode of Star Trek ever.
Strange New Worlds had Spock amok.
Yeah, it's great, but it's only 10 episodes, so they can focus all their resources into that instead of having 26 crappy scripts to work from. So it's not. It's
and
not
also
analogous.
also they can budget the effects into all those 10 episodes and actually get you something that looks the way they want it to look
Okay,
for every
as
single
far as
episode.
a budget goes, like a Strange New Worlds level budget on a Transformer series would
You could do
absolutely
that.
work.
Yeah.
Would absolutely work.
Would they get that for an initial season? Maybe not, but there is definitely ground to work with there, especially if you're only aiming for 10 episodes tops.
I mean, in the initial season, yes, maybe not a
Yeah.
subsequent season. So
I just don't want another streaming service that I have to pay for.
Paramount Plus is honestly the one that's most integral for me.
Paramount Plus has Strange New Worlds. You should be paying for it already.
Yeah, I would get. I think
Yeah.
I think Strange New Worlds would be like the next to last one. Like I would probably have to keep Disney over that, but other than that, I would definitely drop that over Netflix or Hulu. I mean, I would drop those two over Paramount Plus.
How much is Paramount Plus a month?
$10.
It's 10. I don't know. It's worth it.
I mean, I paid $2.99 just for Doomsday Machine so I could show it to Christy because she's never seen it before, and it was worth it to me just to watch Doomsday Machine again whenever I want to.
That's a great episode.
I mean, it was better in the original, 60s format than the remaster in certain ways, just because of the technical accomplishment of the practical effects.
That was amazing. But but the thing is,
the remaster of Doomsday Machine is fantastic. I will uphold that forever. I just think as a technical accomplishment, the original's better.
Yeah, well, you're right. But like watching it, I forget that it's not practical. That's how good it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, they matched the texture of the Planet Killer really well with the CGI. Like they got everything right in how they adapted that for the reversion.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So is Strange New Worlds. Like, I've had the conversation with Hey Mickey multiple times this season already. It's just like, this should not be as good as this is. Like, it's impossible that this is such a perfect recreation of the feel of original series Star Trek with modern sensibility.
I would like to get an Ortega's featured episode since she's like the only one they're not doing anything with. But that's my only complaint.
Yeah, she's great.
Next season.
Yeah, but I have to say the last episode should have pissed me off. It didn't. I still loved it.
I agree. It should have pissed me off. It just made me feel sad instead, which is a good
thing. I think what they were going for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And my point was going to be though that after 9 episodes, to be able to get that reaction instead of just annoyance at what they did, that's the mark of really good writing and performances.
Absolutely.
And that show has it. And anyway,
fantastic. So this
is Radio Free Cybertron. We'd like to tell you about the Transformers.
Yeah, so Studio Series, Core Class, Ratchet and Laserbeak, Legacy, Armada, Starscream, and Inferno. Lots of stuff. I just really want to talk about that Inferno. Dear God.
I want to talk about that Laserbeak.
I have the original Laserbeak that Diecast picked me up, and I need to put it on display. It's in one of the boxes out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a Core Class one. I don't think.
No.
The Core Class one's closer to being in scale.
Good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, so to the expectations of literally no one, we're getting Studio Series Core Class Laserbeak, the pink bumblebee from Dark of the Moon from that one scene.
It fits.
I mean, I love that they're doing it. I love it.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So why are we getting a Core Class Ratchet?
I don't know, but it looks better than
they can
Deluxe.
do an Ironhide too.
Yeah, they'll do an Ironhide.
But I don't get why we need that.
That's the same thing I thought.
Just the budget? Is it a budget thing? They just want to squeeze the character in?
I mean, why did you get Optimus Prime? Why did you get Starscream and Megatron and Soundwave?
Because
They're G1 characters.
But
they want core characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Optimus Prime, Core Class Optimus Prime was Kingdom. And you're getting another Optimus Prime. In Studio Series, you're not getting another.
I'll let you in on a thing that's not a secret at all. We're getting new Ironhide and implicitly Ratchet in Studio Series.
Okay, well there you go. Never mind.
What I heard was they're going to be Voyager. I think Ironhide's coming first.
That works.
Yeah, it would work.
Yeah, they're larger. They're larger bots.
That's been on the rumor list for a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, is still valid information.
With Studio Series, if they're there's a fudged scale involved, there's kind of a scale compared to other things. They're larger bots. That's cromulent. That jives.
Even if they're not that much larger than a deluxe, that gives you hopefully the leeway to
complexity.
Get maybe a full combat deck out of them as opposed to just the big shields that the Kingdom versions had.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And the feet hanging off the back.
So one thing JT Prime mentioned as being part of the early pitches for the Studio Series Ironhide was possibly some battle damage alternate parts. to take up some of the parts count and add the value, which to me suggests it's going to be something more like Studio Series Hot Rod, where it's going to be closer to deluxe height, maybe probably still a little bit bigger, but it's going to have more complexity in parts for its size to match the price point. My joke then was like, oh, are they going to put a whole blown away torso in there as an option part? Because that was the damage Ironhide took in the movie.
Yeah. This in Voyager Inferno though, like I've heard Voyager Inferno. I'm like, we've already got Inferno. We don't need another G1 Inferno. And it's like, no, it'll be the Beast Wars Inferno. And I'm like, I've waited so long for a Beast Wars Inferno. It's not going to be, but it is, and it's glorious. I love it. I love this toy.
It looks really cool.
It looks better than the original. Looks better than the original.
That's not difficult.
I know, but like so often these like redos of classic toys in generations are not as good because they can't be as complex. It's not going to be as big as the Voyager or the original Inferno, but it looks like it's going to be a better toy.
It actually might be comparable size because Inferno was just a mega.
And that's true. Oh, he was a mega. Okay. Yeah. But like I'm sure he's not going to have an issue. Hopefully he's not going to have an issue where his crotch won't peg together.
Hopefully not.
That's like the worst part about that toy.
You
but
said
we'll be able to stand up.
Yeah, it's Voyager.
It's so hard to tell with these the new packaging, like the deluxes and the
Yeah,
Voyagers,
it's easy because on the bottom right here it says Voyager at the very bottom. It's super easy.
Yeah.
And also, of course, we now know what Antagony is going to be based on and have an idea what to think about for her. Because with them doing BotCon characters, they're going to do Antagony.
Antagony's already been on a list.
Yeah. I love this thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just can't be any happier about that. It'll probably ruin it. But,
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So is this technically now this the 2023 line that we're looking at?
No, this should be Wave 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my only notes on Inferno, they've had to, because the transformation works different, which is the point I'll get to in a moment, they had to modify how the abdomen for the ant forms. So the propeller butt deal from the original Inferno, which was prominently featured in the cartoon, isn't going to work the same way. And the gun they're showing is actually the rocket engine from that. So it seems like you're going to be able to either have that set up correctly or have him have a weapon, which is not great. But that seems to largely be in service to engineering the transformation to work like it looked like it worked in the cartoon, where Inferno in beast mode was his full robot height from floor to highest point, and then he just kind of compressed inward from end to end and turned into the robot that way. And like it seems like they're trying to get something that looks and feels like that out of this transformation, which is a really interesting way for this to go. I just wish it didn't compromise like an iconic part of the design and execution of Inferno.
Going back to something I said a few minutes ago about how like modern takes on classic toys are not as good as the original, you have Armada Starscream.
Yeah.
No modernized Armada toy is going to be as good as an Armada toy. Like that's just flat out fact.
Yeah.
I really don't see why they couldn't have done the wing as an because it seems like making the extra part for the separate wing sword could have been just incorporated into the design to make the wing sword.
Okay, so Don, wing is a single piece plus a sword accessory. That's 2 total parts. Now, if you designed a wing where the end of the wing comes off, that's 2 parts already. Then you have to have at least 1 hinge to unfold that into a blade shape, and probably 2 parts to unfold 2 stages so it's the right shape and length. So now you're up an extra part on top of that. You actually do have more parts in converting the wing into a weapon than just adding the wing sword as its own piece. Plus, they're kind of looping this in to be the quote-unquote energon weapon for this toy, which is why in some of these shots it's painted red like it's glowing.
Okay, I was just looking at it as a standpoint of plastic saved that could have been put into that. That's what I was looking at. Was just basically adding the plastic for the extra part back into the figure to make that wing sword.
Yeah, but it's also a matter of how many parts you have to cut into the molds and the assembly steps to put that together for the packaging. Like there's more to it than just the raw material cost.
So one thing I want to just mention, maybe it's a good thing that they're that it doesn't really resemble the original Armada toy. I'm pulling up the photo of it from TFU Info. It does look distinctly different. It looks more like the Generations toy that came out.
Yeah, the 2014
It
toy.
gives it its own silhouette, its own profile, rather than this. I mean, if it's not going to be as big, as complex as the original, you might as well do something different. So I want to be fair to them. Like, I'm sure it'll be a fine toy, but I don't know. I love Armada.
It'll be a good Starscream. It'll be a good Skywarp. It'll be a good Thundercracker. It'll be good for 4-packs. It'll be good as a 4-pack set. It'll be good
that'd be an expensive set.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get your Sunstorm out of this. Maybe Armada
we'll get a coronation leader class coronation Starscream from Armada. And yeah, it'll have a throne and everything.
It'll come with a throne, yeah.
Yeah, so this Starscream seems more geared to be a representation of the look in the cartoon rather than being an updating of the original toy so much. So, like, on that basis, it kind of works, and some of the detailing on it makes more sense. And Don, Sunstorm on an Armada mold would have to be from an Armada thrust, because that's how it was in the universe. There was never an orange Armada Starscream, unfortunately.
One accessory I think that would have been nice to see with this as an Easter egg would have been a small little Alexis figure.
No,
I think that could. No, I'm just saying it fits the motif.
The one thing, if you have the Generations figure, is this really worth getting?
It's bigger.
Yeah, this is a Voyager.
Yeah,
bigger, nicer.
A little bit bigger, probably.
Comes with a little Star Saber.
Yeah.
Comes with a little Star Saber that can't decide what it wants to be. Because, like, the sculpting is all toy accurate, but they decoed it like the Energy Blade Star Saber from the cartoon. But they tried to have it both ways. I'm sure, like, Shockwave's Lab or something is going to have a, animation version Star Saber accessory you can buy, probably, by the time we're done with the podcast tonight.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick. Hopefully people, and we're 27 minutes in, so I probably shouldn't have waited this long to say it. But if there's a little bit of echo on the show, I'm looking at the my mixer, and when Diecast is talking, it's picking up on my end, so I'm probably not angled correctly. So if there's a little bit of echo there, I apologize. So,
yeah, I mean, I think you kind of mentioned there could be some audio weirdness at the start of the show.
Yeah, like whenever I have the basement completed and the proper setup, I'll have a nice round table, and the like the super cardioid microphones that I have, the pickup pattern, like the microphone, they'll be opposite of each other, so there'll be nice rejection and everything, where we don't have that here in this space. So.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. I've just been texted something extremely important that I have to show you all right now. Oh, Brian.
I literally can't.
Shoot. Darn it.
It's a cat.
No, I'm sorry. It's Christy took a picture of Hank, and it's just like awesome.
That is creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a good picture.
I'm sure it's a good picture.
It's a good
person,
picture.
Don. But like picked up through your like pinhole-sized camera with the exposure like where it is, that just looks like an electric cat. And you're muted.
No, Don.
Oh, sorry, but it's an awesome picture.
He's a
of
beautiful
Hank.
cat. Yeah, that's awesome, Don. Okay. So, Chris, I didn't read this. You can just tell us what happened. This Data Mining Legacy and Studio Series 2023 toys, including Rise of the Beast. The important thing here, though, is Metal Hawk.
Yeah, Metal Hawk. There's not like much more to this than what is in the title or in the like summary of the article, really, because like all this is listings from Walmart's system. There's no pictures to go with it. It's just names and size classes. So Legacy we're going to get next year a Voyager Metal Hawk. Speculation right now is it'll be probably a retool of Starscream or G-Axis.
How is it that you live? I thought you died in the TF Generations 2 comics number 11.
Friday.
Yeah, sorry.
I was looking I was actually looking for like existing art assets of Metal Hawk for the article for the cover image for it, and I remembered seeing the pictures. Like IDW Metal Hawk actually could work as a Starscream partial, just because the rough body shapes actually do kind of line up. It would need a lot of work, but like that could be a different way to take this, because like they are going for some IDW callbacks at this point, with the blurring the Velocitron line. And when Cosmos was going to be a partial off of Origin Bumblebee, the intent was have it be IDW themed more than traditional G1. So like that, it's something that's on their minds.
Yeah, my question is, will there be gold plastic syndrome like right out of the package, or is this going to be probably not?
Hopefully not. As far as I know, the Metal Hawk from that box set several years ago hasn't broken yet. So
Cool.
I had to move it this past weekend to dust, and it did not crumble yet.
You know, I have to say, I don't know why, but my G2 Superion was in a bin, and I checked, and no additional breakage on that, but
good.
I was super worried.
Wait, additional breakage?
Yeah, he already broke.
Oh,
Yeah, slingshot
sadness.
slingshot, like a tiny little piece cracked on him like a couple years ago.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it didn't affect anything. It just hurts my heart. Okay,
like
so
my Ghost Starscream breaking.
yeah. Oh, that sucks too.
Yeah,
Because
that was rough.
like I can get another G2 slingshot. It'll probably cost as much as like that whole Grand Galvatron set, but like slingshot came separate. You don't have to buy the whole Grand Galvatron set to get him.
Yeah. So we got Studio Series listing. So there's a bunch of Rise of the Beast stuff. Deluxe Bumblebee, Air Razor, Voyager Cheetor, a Voyager who we don't know who it is. We haven't cracked the code name yet. It's listed as Apollo. There's no telling what that's gonna be meant to be. And in leader class, Scourge and Optimus Primal. So I mean, it kind of breaks down about how you'd expect, except for Cheetor being a Voyager, which I wouldn't have called. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. No idea.
And then we have Leader Snarl coming next year. So that'll be number 4 out of 5. Swoop's gonna be the last one. However, that ends up coming
And
out.
we think Swoop's gonna be a leader as well, or Voyager.
I would hope so, just so they could really get the wingspan.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so on that basis, but who knows? If it's that far out, we don't even know how far into development the toy might be at this point.
Yeah. So these Rise of the Beast figures, are these this year or 2023?
As far as I can tell from this
2023
2023 intention. But if they're 2023 product year, they could still be hitting by the end of this year.
Yeah, it's just interesting that like all the other Rise of the Beast stuff was already produced. I guess they're able to pause this.
The Studio Series stuff was probably on a different schedule anyway.
Okay.
With the Bumblebee movie stuff, there was a few pieces that were made to kind of coincide with the launch of the movie, but most of that tie-in stuff has come out afterward. And I think Studio Series is just kind of going in that direction. So they had a little easier time shifting this stuff around than, say, the Cyberverse replacement kind of stuff, which is now coming out as Cyberverse toys. The little bit of it they couldn't stop.
Cool. Okay. Let's see.
And then there's the one last listing on here, which is an oddball, which is Studio Series Deluxe War for Cybertron Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And we had another thing pop up this afternoon after this got posted, which was the Studio Series Deluxe War for Cybertron Barricade.
That's the one that had me questioning.
Yeah. Nobody's really exactly sure what to make of this. The popular theory is that it's High Moon Studios designs from War for Cybertron, the game.
When was the last time they released a game based on
2012?
Yeah.
Or, well, I don't know. When did Rise of the Darkspark come out?
Later, 2014.
Did those coincide with the Rise of the Darkspark? Those toys, the Optimus Prime and the Bumblebee.
No, those were in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for War for Cybertron, we had the Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Cliffjumper in 2010. And then 2012 and 2013, we had Fall of Cybertron toys.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
Jazz
it.
and Sideswipe and
Yeah.
Soundwave.
I could see it being a High Moon Studios take. I just don't see why it would be. I just don't see like a hook for that.
Well, I think the hook is there's studio in the name.
Yeah,
And and there's only so much live
there's also
action
Studio
movie stuff they can
Ox,
still do.
and I would want something like that before I would want a High Moon
Before the
Studio.
Barricade thing came out, my what I think is more realistic assessment of the Studio Series War for Cybertron Bumblebee thing is that would be the origin Bumblebee in a Siege Damage Deco for the Netflix cartoon.
Or the Bumblebee could be another way to get that Volkswagen mold out.
Yeah,
I
Who
just
knows?
don't know what they would do for Barricade in that case.
rampant
Exactly.
speculation. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's literally all we have for
Yeah.
that right now. So the other addendum for this is product info text was posted for Core Class Studio Series 86 Rumble.
Yeah.
So what we know of that is it's going to be blue. And I personally enjoy Hasbro flip-flopping on
Yeah.
the colors every couple of years. Just like they don't care. They are not taking a side, and they're probably laughing at
They're
all
trolling.
of the
Yeah.
laughing at all of the rage going on over, no definitive answer over who's what color
Yeah.
or, being the wrong color. And it says it comes with pile drivers and guns.
Nice.
What this might end up being is something on the order of the eject that came with Blaster, just with the extra parts. So it would be a more comprehensive transforming cassette toy than the Micromaster 2-pack Rumble and Frenzy that already existed. But it would still be compatible with a Soundwave like the Siege Soundwave they're reissuing in this Voyager
When
wave.
is actually Diecast and I were talking about that as we were picking up my kid from camp. When is that Siege Soundwave? When is that shipping? Do we know?
Last week.
Okay, that he was right.
Amazon already got them in.
Yeah, he said that it he thought they were shipping now.
Yeah.
I don't have it pre-ordered, so
I mean, who does?
I know. I probably will. Okay, so next item. Why on earth are we getting a repaint of Masterpiece Lio Convoy other than they have to recoup money from the mold?
I
Yes.
think that's it. Yeah, that's
A
the whole
black
reason.
a black repaint of a convoy. There's your answer.
I mean, there. What other what are
Flash.
Flash Lio
or Galvatron
Galva,
convoy.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a Galvatron one too, I think.
Yeah.
Like the Flash would require probably a different kind of plastic.
But I mean,
or-
everybody loved that toy so much. Why wouldn't they, repaint it?
yeah,
Release
I'm
it
still
again?
on the fence about maybe getting one. I just don't
It's
know
crap.
about it.
it's crap. If somebody will give it to you, maybe.
So I mean, with doing a Flash version, like I wouldn't even think they would use clear plastic for it. Just cast
Sparkle
it
it.
in
Add
cast it in
sparkles.
yellows and put sparkly glossy paint all over it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want them to release that figure in sparkly translucent plastic. Please do that.
Yeah, I mean, what we all want is any modern masterpiece produced and released in like 95% clear plastic.
Well, y'all remember how Ultimate's Ghost Starscream ended up versus Proto versus final results. Let's not go through that again with
So,
an actual
Bernie-
transforming figure.
Burning Convoy, that is in sort of clear plastic, translucent plastic, isn't it? The Masterpiece version.
I don't remember.
I have it and I don't remember.
What I remember of that is they got the color of the robot head wrong, and then it was just sad.
Yeah. The sad thing
Like-
is, I'm probably going to buy this, and I don't want it. I need to stop myself.
So the list price is 20,000 yen. If you go, Amazon Japan or
It's
one of the
Karatomi
other-
Mall.
one of the other, I saw it listed on Amazon Japan.
Oh God, I'm gonna go buy
What's
it.
all these Takara Tomie masterpieces lately?
I mean, there's not really, like, some pluses will be exclusives because they're, limited interest. Skyfire kind of falls in that range because Skyfire
Well, it's
had
right
such
there.
Skyfire's presence in the cartoon was purposely shifted and downplayed for the Japanese airing. So Skyfire is not super important to Japanese fans.
Okay.
So there's, for something that big and expensive, there's not going to be a great deal of retail support projected for that.
So it's going to be 19,178 yen before any additional price drops, and shipping between February 2nd to 11th, 2023.
Yeah, because it comes out the last week of January. With the exchange rate right now, you'll get a good dollar price on that.
Right now, but in February, who knows?
Exactly. That's always the warning. With Amazon Japan, it is still possible to buy Amazon Japan gift card codes and apply them against a pre-order. So you can.
Bother.
Well, you might not, but other people might want to have the opportunity to lock in the exchange rate basically by placing the pre-order and then buying the gift cards at the good exchange rate and applying that to that pre-order, so it's all paid for in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get off on a tangent just for a second concerning Skyfire?
Oh, Don, I bet we couldn't stop you if we tried.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I just want to ask: did anyone else watch Wataka's video?
I don't even have a clue who that is, Don.
I did.
Sorry.
I did.
Okay,
I usually
Matt,
don't, and I did.
Matt, did you watch it by chance? I posted a link on Twitter. I was going to ask what y'all thought of the transformation, how they hit everything, and what y'all thought. Since
What are we transforming this person?
Skyfire.
He
Takara actually lent him a production sample of Masterpiece Skyfire.
Oh, I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, I did see that.
I saw a GIF of that on Twitter. That was pretty interesting.
I like it.
That's what actually has me second guessing. Like maybe I do want this. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
I have. I watched the video. Sigh, add to cart.
I already bought it, so I don't care.
Yeah. I just want to, because since last week we talked about it, and this week he had the video. That backpack compression really was impressive to me.
Is he taller, or is he about the same height as like Star Saber?
A little taller.
Great. Okay. It's worth it. Definitely.
Hey, Cat.
Thank.
So there's that. Walmart.
Wait, he's getting big.
Yeah, Cat, they grow quickly. Walmart exclusive override design details, including original pitch as hot rod partial. This is an Instagram
Mark
for
Mayers.
Mark. And neat. Okay.
Yeah, so the original idea for this was to basically replace the entire upper half/front half of Hot Rod with new override styled parts, and that was going to be override. The reason we have an all new one is because the Takara engineers figured out a way to get all the parts they needed to make this work in 4 tools. Now, Cosmos was a similar situation, but that was done in 3. For reference, on a standard deluxe, for instance, we're pretty sure that's usually in the range of 6 to sometimes 7 tools for a complete figure.
So they're going to drop the price on it, right?
And for a Voyager, it would be like 8 tools for a complete figure. So they've done these in about half. It's a really interesting technical accomplishment that makes me highly fearful for 2023 and 2024's toys, because it's setting a terrible, terrible precedent, which is that we can make these toys at this volume with half the parts and charge the exact same price.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my cynicism. Now, for a more positive spin, I think it's really interesting to see how this override came about. And some of the tricks that they're employing to actually make these new molds work for store exclusive purposes. Because it's not unprecedented, but it is exceptionally rare to have happen.
So one thing I question is on the toolings, are they doing, basically, is it just the engineering of the toy, or are the walls between the different mold elements thinner? And if they're doing more parts on each tooling, what does that mean for the tooling itself wearing down over time as it's being used.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of the material science of the steel tools to know, like, what minimum thickness you need to actually maintain the form of the parts within those tolerances. I'm sure as much as they can cram into one steel tool, they will, but there's going to be a limit. Now, as long as those walls don't, like, flex during the pressing process, where the part's going to deform, I don't think the wear would be any different than the normal wear that you have from just the standard process of injection molding. So I don't think that itself would make it wear down any faster. Like with the BotCon toys, we were always told that those were like one and dones because they were using softer metals, probably aluminum, to make those tools. So by the time they were done with that first production run, generally they weren't any good anymore. And sometimes, in the case of BotCon toys, they weren't any good when they started.
Okay, well, question. With all of these figures being part of the Walmart Velocitron set, if the agreements remain the same, we probably will not be seeing these again outside of a Walmart use versus like
for a while.
For a while.
If it's the same, which we don't know, that is true.
But I think it is plausible.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there probably wasn't enough time between the two agreement batches for them to realize
we have no way of judging that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, probably this upcoming batch of Velocitron stuff, they had no idea that the demand for Netflix Soundwave would be so great.
Okay, so like the thing you need to look at as Hasbro doesn't have a problem with these being exclusive.
They just want them to sell.
If they could, talk to Walmart and say, we want to pitch a line and here, put the Soundwave back out because we know from all of our interactions and probably research that they would have or doctor to prove their point. People will buy this again.
Yeah, so
that's very true.
They will use
exclusivity doesn't always last forever either because
it won't last
Volkswagen
forever.
tooling is showing up in a Target set.
Yeah, here's a general rule of thumb when it comes to merchandising anything to a major retailer. The retailer wants more when you re-up an agreement. And almost always the retailer gets more. When you're Walmart and you're literally the biggest retailer in the world, you tend to get your way. So any change to an agreement tends to favor the retailer.
Right, and I totally agree. What I'm saying, Brian, is that Hasbro is basically locking in all of their reuse potentials for their molds to that one retailer who may not want any more.
If the retailer agrees to buy it up front, I don't know. So there are outs and stuff. Like, you're not going to have an agreement. You shouldn't have an agreement at a company that large where if Walmart agrees to buy something that you're not going to recoup your money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. I mean, let me put it a different way. The retailer usually wins when it comes to the agreement, but you're not going to sign a suicide pact when you sell something. You're not going to bet the farm on a Walmart subline. So we don't know. Like what I said to begin with, we don't know.
So I have a question. Since we're going into Velocitron, and Netflix is done, will they ship my Wave 1 Netflix figures?
So Don, the other thing about the reuse potential you're citing, so with Soundwave, of course, there's Sound Blaster as a built-in possibility, and Shattered Glass, I guess, which I assume the Shattered Glass line can use a Siege Mold because of all these things. But like something like Cosmos or Override, there's not a whole lot of inherent reuse with that, and I don't think Hasbro's going to be super worried about making that happen.
There was
in this case.
There was a Dark
there's
Nitro Convoy.
There's Override, there's Dark Nitro Convoy and Override GTS, but like both of those are pretty obscure within the realm of an already like not super mainstream character. And with Cosmos, all you can really do is the eHobby GoBot deco
and scrounge. if they want to follow suit from the previous version.
Okay, but the other Cosmos worked for that because it was more like a wheel. This is very not.
I'm just looking at it's like that's a whole lot of molds and a whole lot of money that you can't sell anywhere else for a possibly predetermined amount of time that you have no options to use elsewhere.
Don's worried about Hasbro's money.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
I want to complain about something real quick. So, why does a mold have to be another thing? We talk about it all the time. Why I miss the days when you would have a mold, and it was that character, then they repainted it and they just made something up and gave it a new name.
I mean, I don't think it has to be reused.
No, but that's just the philosophy.
Hasbro does.
That's we don't get anything new like that.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
I hate it.
I want some creativity again. That's why I was so jazzed for that concept Cosmos off the Origin Bumblebee. Like, it's a classic character, but it's a very different way to get there.
Yeah.
So that was felt interesting and innovative. But yeah, like this is why every time we have a conversation like this, I will bring this one point up. Robots in Disguise 2015. I missed that so bad because it gave us new characters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was mostly new characters until that last year when they went back to all,
And
classic.
some of them are iconic. Strong Arm is a...
Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on History on the Fives last night. We were saying, why haven't they done a new Strong Arm lately? I would love to see a Strong Arm in Generations. That would be fantastic.
Legacy. Put her in Legacy somewhere.
Yes.
Hasbro forgot about her.
Yeah. Okay, so here. Okay. I don't think we talked about this on the show. I think Ben Montano is not with Hasbro anymore. The last time I looked at his LinkedIn page, it had an end date to his employment at Hasbro, and there was a bunch of letters of recommendation down at the bottom that were recently added.
Yeah.
So I think he's moved on or is in the process of moving on. And I think Ben Montano, I remember when I got to talk to him and John Warden at BotCon, Ben seemed to be the one who was more in tune with what was going on with like Cyberverse and the non-generation stuff. I think he might have been more
brand manager.
Yeah, I think he might have been more spearheading the attempts to still introduce new things and, push for some of those newer characters like Strongarm and Windblade, who we've not had a new version of in a few years now either.
Well, we haven't had a Transformer of Windblade in a few years.
Hasbro has not produced a Windblade in a few years.
Yeah, Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro has not produced a Windblade in a few years.
Well,
I think the people who are actually making those decisions now have different priorities, and it's moving, more tightly into focus on the classic stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love that Cosmos though. Like, I'm fine if we only get Cosmos and we don't get anything else from that mold.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying that there are characters that we may not get otherwise because someone will see that mold would work for that one character that we may not get for a much longer period of time, and it's locked into that Hasbro exclusive. I mean, that Walmart exclusivity. That's just what I'm saying. Is that
I don't think you should worry about it. I think you should just enjoy what we're getting and not worry about.
I can't believe it, but I kind of agree with Diecast. Like, it's such a limited situation, Don. Right now there's 3 molds we know that are actually affected by this, which is that Soundwave and probably the Cosmos and Override. We don't even know for sure that Walmart has this, death grip that we've been led to believe they have on Soundwave. The stuff could appear somewhere else again, or, Walmart might have 2 or 3 years of, if you want to release this, it has to come through us and we have to want to do it.
Hey, real quick, and just like
there's going to be more than one wave of Velocitron, I believe. So these molds could pop up again in a future wave.
So I just want to clarify something in case it didn't come across, because I'm looking at our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, and Hypershada said that new characters cost money. What I was saying is, like, if you have a mold of, say, Rodimus Prime, and just like, actually they did that. What was in Titan's Return? You have you had a Rodimus Prime, so they just repainted it into something that was like a new character, instead of it having to be something else. So like it costs more money. It costs money in the sense that you have to run, do a run on the mold again. But like if you
and legal stuff.
Yeah,
too.
but like that's minimal. But like, yeah, making an all new mold of something that has never been done before, that's one thing. But like, instead of just having to retool a mold or or whatever into something that will kind of fit. Just repaint something and give it a new name and call it a day.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of stuff is
That's
fun.
the way it used to be.
Yeah. We're old.
We're old. And is that it for news? Is that it for news?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's jump to what we got this week. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I have one thing to talk about.
Okay.
So remember the Hasbro Pulse sale that we were all super impressed with?
Yeah.
I got Masterpiece Reboost off of that, which I actually finally opened recently, and
Great.
Very, very good Masterpiece
Yeah.
mold. Like
Nice.
I'm super happy. It handles so well. It does not. It's gonna sound weird. It doesn't feel like a Masterpiece toy based on my experience with Masterpiece toys.
It's what a Masterpiece
it
toy should
feels
be.
like more of a. Yes, it very much is. If more Masterpieces felt like this, I would have a lot more of a problem because I'd want to buy more of them. And in a way, that kind of cycles back to what I wanted to talk about, which is they didn't have Crosscut on Hasbro Pulse during that sale, but a couple weeks ago, Ness pointed us in the Discord over to a shop that he uses, who was having a sale. They had a coupon code for like 20 or 30% off. And that just happened to bring Crosscut, which they had in stock, down to about what the Hasbro Pulse sale would have cost if they had it. So I have Crosscut now, and it is beautiful, and I love it.
I haven't
and
opened mine yet.
you know, messing with it, I'm pretty sure I've had this conclusion before, but I'll say it again. Like, once they designed Crosscut's deco, like that first time for the eHobby release, they could have just like stopped making Transformers because they'd achieved perfection with designing Crosscut, and the Masterpiece really upholds and lives up to that. Like Reboost has the smoky windows. I was really pleasantly surprised opening this. I'd forgotten Crosscut has the like really pretty clear blue windows, which are just, they pop. They're so striking against that beautiful silver paint. It's a really, really nice Masterpiece, and both of the decos I have are so good. Like, I didn't get Skids because I mean it's
Skids.
It's Skids. Skids is always the least interesting off of a Skids mold, unfortunately. Even back to that 2013 toy, the IDW based one, the Crosscut off of that was way better than the Skids was. But yeah, like the first Masterpieces I've bought since Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron, and you know, famously I ended up selling off that Megatron because I was afraid to transform it because it felt too delicate. And this I don't have any fear or problem with, and it's just like, this is the perfect Masterpiece experience to me. Crosscut is this beautiful deco with the great overall shape, and Reboost is great because it's basically Kojin Ono's Transformers fan character of the car he had when he was 20. Like, there is nothing not to love about all of this, and I'm just so happy that these exist and that I have them. And that's what I got this week.
Cool. Who else?
I got nothing.
Rob?
Oh,
Okay, Don walked away, so I guess it's just me.
Also
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay, I'll start with the disappointing one first. Actually, I got two disappointing ones. So Don talked about Leader Class Studio Series Sludge last week. And to me, it's more disappointing in hand now that I have. Oh, he just fell because there's no tension on those knees. Yeah, so my two biggest complaints, and it's really the only two that I found, so for the most part, is on mine, there's no tension whatsoever on the knee joints. I mean, you can maybe barely hear them, but he doesn't want to stand. He has to balance perfectly to stand. And part of me wants to keep him in robot mode because it's like the G1 Season 1, you know, Dinobots where they're robots and big and bulky. And like they're larger, they're more impressive looking in robot mode than they are dinosaur mode. And partially because they're taller. And like just the knees are so weak. And his wing, like I don't know what type of plastic it is, but it is very soft where it's hinged and it falls off a lot. So he looks good. And if I can balance it perfectly on my shelf, it'll look okay. But like this one is like the first Transformer in a while where I feel like I probably should return it. So if there's a rerun of this, if there was, I don't know on the waves. If one's coming out, I might consider waiting on an improved one if such a thing exists.
I don't think they've done second runs on any of the Dinobots so far.
Well, there's up until recently, I saw slags everywhere, so probably not.
I saw one today.
Yeah. So I got this, and I don't know why, but it just makes me feel really insecure holding it.
Oh, Shoki.
It's Masterpiece Shoki. Like, there's something about it. I don't know. I don't feel manly enough.
So much clear plastic.
So I got it last week, and I did the first transformation step. Then I reflected, and I undid it, and I have not transformed it. I am not going to until I have them all. And I'm going to do it all in one go, and I'm going to combine them. They won't even go.
I think that's the same route I'm going to go. Just wait until I have them all, make riding, and never touch it again.
They'll never touch it again. I've seen people break it. I don't want any more of these.
It's such a sad way to live.
Yeah.
But you'll have 5 more of them.
I'll have 5 more of them. But yeah, I'm not super excited. It's going to go back in the box. When it came, I'm like, I don't have a Amazon delivery today. What in the hell's going on here? And I saw like kanji on the package. I'm like, oh yeah, I do have an Amazon delivery today. So I wish the Amazon app tracked that. But
I'm totally debating just leaving them in train mode and put them on the tracks.
I mean, come to tracks, yeah. So,
yeah, I knew that first day on Twitter. The first day it was properly out in Japan, and there was already a picture of a clear plastic hinge that had broken,
pinned to a piece of metal.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it. I'll have to do it very carefully.
Yeah.
Last thing I got is I don't want to call it a grail because it's not. I mean, it's not super expensive.
Well, yeah, and you have something you describe that way like every other week.
Yeah, I don't want to describe it as a grail. And I kind of feel bad talking about this, but I'll say what it is first. I've wanted it for like over 20 years. It is the super hybrid model BotCon 97 Galvatron.
Oh,
the box is a little yellow.
The original shampoo bottle.
It is the original shampoo bottle. I've wanted this for years. And honestly, to God, I'm not joking. I had a dream about this model like 4 or 5 months ago. I had a dream that I had it. And then I started looking for it the next day. And I'm like, wait, I only dreamt about that. I've wanted this for years. It is like, now that I have it in hand, I'm super stoked that I do have it. But like diecast, I'm certain is looking at it. It's like, why in the hell did you want that?
Yeah, it's kind of on his face right now.
Yeah. I've wanted this for so long. I will never own the RC or Hot Rod ones.
Boy.
They were never sold, but I will never own one of those. I've wanted this for so long. Going price on this is usually about $200. I got this on eBay. The bid on it was $38 or $36. I bid $38 with like 5 days before it ended. Nobody outbid me.
Wow.
Nice.
For $38. I actually feel really bad for the seller. So I wanted this for so long, and now I have it.
Okay,
that'll go really well with the Web World starter kit that Sean made.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid that would break it, because it's I would be afraid this would melt. Honestly, like it's soft. It's soft plastic and all that.
It's vinyl. It's vinyl.
It's vinyl. Yeah.
So Blade would like an explanation of what the hell that Galvatron is.
So it's supposed to like resemble like Studio Ox, I think, like the manga stuff from TV Magazine. This came out. So the mold for it, it was produced in the 80s.
Yeah,
but they were never released. And I don't actually know how BotCon Japan got their hands on the ones that were made. I don't know off the top of my head how many units made it out. Mine is number 81. It actually has a serial number on it.
There's not a lot of those.
Yeah.
And I believe there's an even rare lava bath coloration of that Galvatron.
I think so. I don't remember ever seeing it, but
because I believe that is something our friend Thylacine was hunting for a good number of years.
Yeah. So there are 2 other models in the line that were never released: an RC and a Rodimus, or Hot Rodimus, and apparently they are very expensive. I've never come across one. Actually, I think I saw one at BotCon, but I've never, like, when I've been searching online, I don't remember ever coming across one. So
there was a couple of years there with BotCon Japan where they, had good relations with Takara and probably were able to, work out, that was available in Takara's archives or, however that went about, and were able to secure production of a small number of them. BotCon Japan's relationship with Takara did not last for that long, and eventually they weren't allowed to have a BotCon Japan at all anymore.
yeah, like was 2000 the last one, something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, so Mandara. So I've always thought that the BotCon Japan exclusives were like super expensive, but Mandarake, I think several of them have popped up for way less than I would have expected. So that might be something that I work on getting, like Barbarian and whatever.
Yeah, Grizzly One and Double Punch.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, so interesting. I have a couple of them in my wish list on Mandarake. So. Hey, so Amazon Prime Day is coming up like in a week. So
also, did we want to see if Don had anything to talk about?
He came back. He walked away.
Yeah,
he was switching cats.
If we want to say he forfeited his turn,
I thought I asked and he walked away. So
did you get anything this week, Don?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm trying to balance my time between them so Massey doesn't feel like he's being ignored. So, and I also wanted to give him just a few minutes off the floor. Yeah. Went to GameStop, had a $5 coupon expiring.
That's a lame thing to get.
Well, I know. But I picked up, for some reason, it rang up lower than the clearance price. So I got the Minicon 6-pack, this
Galactic Odyssey.
The Galactic Odyssey set. With my coupon, it was like $15 in tax instead of $26. So,
nice.
Not bad.
Yeah, so for $15, I get several decent Minicons, the combiner, and I get that kind of odd mask colored one. And something that I forgot to bring up for the past 2 weeks, actually, I forgot I had it. I found Authentics RC.
Oh, neat! If I bought Authentics, I would buy that. I'm stopping. My
apparently, it's awful.
It is awful from what the reviews I've seen.
Authentic, yes.
But I found that at a chain called Pop Shelf, which is a division of Dollar General.
Yeah.
It's a more upscale.
It is a Five Below knockoff.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a good way to say it.
Upscale Dollar General.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say
the prices aren't like $5 the stuff, but you walk in and it's like, to me, it's like you're walking into a Five Below. It has that vibe.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, that's the only place I've seen her in all the checking, and it was
Kim loves Pop Shelf, so I may ask her to go look for me and not buy it because I don't buy those anymore. So I'm going to ask her to do it.
Yeah, and Brian, I am sorry for walking away. Hank is very aggressive towards Massey, wanting to play. Oh,
that sounds horrible, Don.
Yeah, and Massey's like, I don't want to play. Leave me alone. So I try to pick him up when I can and give him a few minutes off the floor away from Hank, out of his reach of his murder mittens.
So I'll go. I'll say what I got.
Do you have anything?
Well, it's at home, but I got G-Axis.
I'll have mine Friday.
Okay, Diecast, tell us about it.
It's sitting on his porch.
Yeah. No, my wife brought it in the house, so it's in the house. And
in
it's
a
in an
shipping
Amazon box. Yeah. I also want to mention that I started putting stuff that I have for sale on my OfferUp. So I have a web address that I tweeted out, but it's offerup.co/profile/diecast.
Sweet. You have a bunch of boxed Fans toys. You don't have boxed Fans Project stuff. Fans toys
that are unopened. I'm going to start. That's only a small sample of what I have. I have lots of stuff that I need to get put on that OfferUp, but that's a nice, easy way to go and look at stuff if you want to see what I have for sale.
I'm going to be posting another sale list this weekend as I'm going through, and I have all these totes of crap. I need to get rid of stuff. So, yeah. Okay. So, again, I was going to mention Prime Day is next week, I believe. So, if you're going to buy something, use our link because it helps make stuff happen, makes this possible. tfradio.net/Amazon. I want to thank our patrons at the touched tier. Actually, I haven't looked at the list. I don't think we've added any touched patrons, so one of these might have dropped. I don't think so, but I'm going to mention them anyway because I usually give a week grace period before I drop somebody off if like their credit card gets declined or something. But if you go to patreon.com/tfradio, you can sign up. And we mentioned our patrons at the touch tier each week. And these folks can also be on History on the Fives, which Rob hosts weekly. And our patrons at the touch tier that we want to thank: Kevin Dorsey, Kevin Check Your Mail, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Jay Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Boomer, Spider Bob. Did I mention his birthday last week?
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday. Might have been the week before, but Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Blake Reynolds, Vegemite Mike, Jason Tate, Eric Griffin, Cybertron Toys, and Sean I. Williamson. Thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. Again, if you want to sign up for our Patreon, whatever tier, we appreciate you either way. It's patreon.com/tfradio. Let's see here. You can find all of our crap at tfradio.net. Just go there. All the links. Our Twitter at tfradio, Facebook, Instagram. It's all there. I am personally on Twitter at bkilby, on Instagram at Brian Kilby, and briankilby.com is where a lot of my crap is. Diecast, where's your crap?
My crap is on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can see my reviews on youtube.com/RFC Reviews or tfradio.net/reviews. And I do have a birthday coming up 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember.
2, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, like 2 weeks. It's one of those turning 40, big milestone. A lot of people said I wouldn't live this long.
I think I was one of them.
It's at tfradio.net/diecast list.
Cool. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. And just a reminder, I am getting married in October, and my wonderful fiance and I are taking a cruise at tfradio.net/honeymoon. We'll take you to our Carnival Cruise Line page where we have up a small selection of gift certificates. If you're in a position to help and would like to help us do a few of the things on the cruise we couldn't normally do ourselves, we would greatly appreciate it. And as always, we thank everyone who's purchased something to help make our honeymoon just a little bit easier. We really do appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you. Chris, did you want to share anything?
Yeah, you can find my toy photography where I keep it at playwithphotography.com. If you'd like to throw some support my way for the work I do, or just, to be nice, you can do that through Patreon at patreon.com/playwithphotos, or just, random acts of kindness. Send me things from my Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist, which does help the show out through the Amazon affiliate program. And who knows, with Amazon Prime Days next week, maybe some of that stuff on there will be on, lightning deals or what have you. I think it's the 12th and 13th next week, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I know, I know that I was trying to build up the, excitement for Prime Day, but Prime Day has been a wet fart for the last couple of years. So hopefully this year will be better. It's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rob.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Rob Flails, which is the Twitter connected to Flail Throughs, my YouTube gaming channel. Right now, it's just Gun Battle Operation 2, because that I can keep up with the help of my friends, and also, what little bit I can play before it starts hurting. So last week, we got the Sinanju from Gundam Unicorn, major, fairly powerful unit, fun to mess with. And this week, we are finally getting the Bound Dock, which closes out the Zeta Gundam roster.
Ooh.
Yeah, so looks like just like the Gaza series, it's only going to have one alternate mode, but I'm kind of hoping they'll do like they've done with a couple things in the past and, patch that back in later.
Is it going to be the trotting around on two legs alternate mode, or the flying with arms mode?
It's gonna be. I think it's probably gonna be the flying around mode. So.
Oh, that's not as fun.
So yeah, but that's that's coming later, and if you like what I'm doing over there, go to patreon.com/flailthroughs, and you can request specific rounds, specific mobile suits, color combinations, what have you. And if you want to just send me stuff, tfradio.net/playlist, all the same conditions as Chris's wish list. And I believe Diecast as well. I'll qualify there.
Cool. Okay. John Luna not here at that John D everywhere, and Rob Springer not here at Rob Springer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. Did I miss anybody? Nope. Okay. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, I forgot to record the show.
Recording stopped.
I'm kidding. Cool.
Yeah, the joke kind of falls flat when we hear the recording stop thing over Zoom.
Yeah, I know.
Your internet was much better this week, Chris. You only Cyloned like once or twice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Oh, Rob, you'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
There's no crossover. Here, I'm certain.
There might be a little, but I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Nobody's gonna rat on you.
Just edit that out.
Yeah.
By the time I posted, it's not going to be there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Just
I missed
mark,
it. Whatever
mark-
it was, I missed
Mark
it.
the live stream archive as private until 10 o'clock.
So
Or
I went
whatever.
to Bai to look at Amazon Japan stuff, and I took out like my search text in the toys, and all it's showing me is like models or like toys that have like half naked women characters, and I don't
Were
understand.
you buying Kiss players again?
It's not Kiss players. I'm looking for Diaclone. Yeah. Hey, do we like? I don't know how long Diecast is going to hang around. I don't know if like we want to try to do a post show or what.
I mean, I can hang around for a little bit.
Diecast, how long are you hanging out tonight?
I guess I can hang out for another like
Recording in progress.
15-ish.
Cool, let's do it.
Sounds good.
While I look for something I don't need to buy.
Anyway, for like actual showtime, I did try to record my local audio. So if
Great. Yeah, if you can send that to me, that'd be awesome because I do a discrete channel.
I can probably have that available for you by morning.
Perfect. I'm not going to edit it until later.
I fixed Sludge's hand because it was popped out of the mushroom peg.
Yeah, I don't care for the.
Well, now it's much better now. I mean, they go in and out, no problem. But his knees still need attention.
I'm going to be sad because there's only one episode of Strange New Worlds left.
I need to get up super
Yeah.
early to watch it.
But like I'm sure I haven't heard if it's been renewed in advance already, but I'm sure we'll get a second season.
I think they've already filmed the second season. I think.
Oh, great!
I think they just wrapped filming. I saw something posted. The
Oh,
other day.
perfect.
This is the first time I've heard of Strange New World. Or
What?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the latest Star Trek series Diecast, and it is really good.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a new one from the last one that was new.
So this year we're having 4 Star Trek series. We've already had Star Trek Discovery for this year. We've had Star Trek Picard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're about to wrap up Strange New Worlds, and then I think in August or September we're going to get the next season of Lower Decks,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is the new animated series.
And then I think Picard season 3 is coming out before the next season of Discovery because
Because we've been naughty children.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
because
think
of the filming
Picard
schedule.
was the last one.
The
that I
filming
knew of.
schedule because Patrick Stewart is like 90. But
Yeah.
like
Oh, this auction is $800. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought Patrick Stewart and Multiverse of Madness was going to be the last time we would see him in a movie.
Patrick Stewart and the Multiverse of Madness. That like I'd watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forget that Doctor Strange guy.
It's worth $800.
I like that movie.
It's pretty good.
Kilby, what bit rate and everything do you want this file as?
I mean, I want it in either 44,100 hertz.
Well,
or,
that's the sampling rate.
I know. I'm very well aware of what that is. Or 48,000, either one. And
that should be one of them.
Yeah, and I want it at like at least 128, preferably 192.
Okay, I can do 192, and it looks like Audacity defaulted to 48K. So, which is probably my fault because usually I set my stuff to 48K when I can.
Hey Don, will you buy that for me?
Buy what?
I think I just put in the chat or internal chat.
Hang on, let me look.
Don has plenty of money. He'll get it.
Oh yeah. All right, let's find out how big this file is going to be.
It's only $800 right now. I don't know what it's going to end up as.
Audacity, what is wrong with you? It should not take 2 minutes to output a 1 hour MP3.
Hopefully it's an hour and 15-minute MP3.
Well, I was rounding.
Yeah.
I know.
If that was Battle Guy, I'd be tempted to bid on it myself.
It's actually
at that price.
It's actually 116.53
Cool.
because I didn't end it right in line with you ending the main recording, but the start
I can line
should be.
I can line
right
it
about
up
in
with
line.
my local recording of you, and
Yeah.
and if there's any difference in the length of track, I'll modify.
Yeah, if it drifts,
yours.
you can change the sampling rate.
I won't even change. I mean, I'll just change the length of it. It's effectively changing the sampling rate, but it's doing it at such a minute level.
Yeah, a few seconds over an hour plus is not even going to be audibly different.
It can be
For like pitch.
Oh no, not for pitch, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I know
but-
for synchronization, yes, that is noticeable.
And I can change it and retain the pitch either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's correction for that.
I need to derail the conversation for a second here because I just remembered something I was supposed to do. We're looking for a new lawnmower, and a couple weeks ago, I believe you said you got an electric lawnmower that worked just as well as a gas one for you. So,
Who was it? Me? I bought one. It
Yeah.
looks great. So, but it was on clearance. It's a Cobalt 40 volt.
okay.
At Lowe's. Let me check this. See if there's one available. I'm certain it's not on clearance now.
Okay.
But yeah,
But-
it works great.
Okay, yeah, because we do need a new lawnmower, and just my dad wants an electric one. My brother was thinking gas, but you said you got one that worked just as well as a gas mower, so that was that got his interest.
It is. Let me check. So here it is. I'll put it in the chat. I paid a little less than this. It's not cheap, but the price of mowers have gone up, so it's actually pretty comparable to what you would get with a gas. But I would rather have this than a gas because the engine's going to last longer.
Yeah, and also not having to screw around with gas cans is always nice too.
Yeah.
So
And gas is stupid expensive right now.
Yeah.
indeed. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, I will let them know because I think
It's
this
got
will
plenty of
probably
power. The thing that scares me is that you don't hear it. You hear it. I mean, there's a sound to it, but it's not like it just doesn't sound like it's there, and it's a swirling death machine. So
I mean, I remember in the older days when, like, the idea of having a bunch of electric cars on the road all at the same time was more of a pipe dream kind of thing than the reality we're starting to look at. Like, one of the pitches was they should all have noise generators in them
yeah,
so that they're as loud
you don't
as.
get hit by it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jared is saying Lower Decks looks and feels so wrong for Star Trek. I thought that too until I watched it, and I love it.
So like, I found the first season entertaining, but like it took me a few episodes to really like actually warm up to it because a lot of it felt like here's a string of jokes that we're loosely putting together in something sort of like a plot, but not really.
Yeah, like
it was a little bit Family Guy in its delivery at first, but like they got better.
The characters are so great. My kids love Mariner. They talk about Mariner like she's a real person and their friend.
I still haven't even checked it out yet.
Like it'll take a few episodes to warm up, like Chris said, but I really like Lower Decks. I thought I was going to hate it. I watched it begrudgingly, and I love it.
So 2 Star Trek shows that year had Jonathan Frakes reprise Riker. One of them was Picard.
One was good.
And one of them was Lower Deck.
And So people kept talking about around this. That was about the couple weeks within when Luke showed up in The Mandalorian, and people were talking about Luke. And I'm like, look, Riker showed up as the captain of the Titan, and it was amazing. It was far better than anything in The Mandalorian, and it was amazing. And yes, I stand by that. It's far better than anything in The Mandalorian.
Although I will go on record as saying the Riker and Troy episode of season 1 of Picard actually was good.
The only good episode.
Was, the highlight of that season by far.
Yeah.
The only good episode of Picard in season 1.
Do you think there's any hope at all for the next season?
No.
Not after seeing the first 2.
Fair enough.
I don't know what they can do to fix it.
They can't.
I mean, they have the rest of the cast, but if the writing is,
they can't.
I don't know.
They want it to be adult, and it's not. It's Star Trek. It just it feels wrong. It's like it's off key.
Yeah, Star Trek is a genre unto itself.
I would rather watch Star Trek Nemesis.
I mean,
that's a hot take, but you're not
the
wrong.
first 2 seasons of Picard. I would rather watch Star Trek. Nemesis.
I have not made that comparison myself in my head prior to this.
You're spending less time watching Nemesis.
Now that you say that, it just makes so much sense to me.
So, there are 2 bad Star Trek movies. The last 2, basically. Because I love Star Trek 5. I know a lot of people.
I'm okay with Insurrection. It's not great.
Insurrection is mediocre. It's mediocre.
There you go.
Insurrection is a perfectly fine season 6 episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, it's mediocre. Mm-hmm. I would much rather if you stack up the amount of time it would take to watch season 1 of Picard, it was it's almost 10 hours.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch Nemesis 5 times in a row than watch Picard?
No, because at least Picard is 10 hours of different kinds of being bad.
I don't know.
I don't want to get to the point in this hypothetical session where I'm coming away from it being able to quote Star Trek Nemesis off the top of my head.
Would you rather watch Picard season 1 or Star Trek Into Darkness?
I've never watched Star Trek Into Darkness.
It's awful.
I would rather watch Star Trek Into Darkness.
I bought a copy.
Hate that movie.
I bought a copy at Goodwill for $3 and I've never watched it.
I don't hate it as much as Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond's way better than Into Darkness. It is way better.
This movie is terrible kind of way.
It's entertaining where Star Trek Into Darkness is not.
It's not Shattered Glass Wrath of Khan like Into Darkness is.
Into Darkness is the worst Star Trek movie. It's worse than Nemesis. It doesn't kick me in the crotch like Nemesis does.
I hate Beyond.
See, now Star Trek Beyond would have been a better movie if what it was William Shatner giving Chris Pine a superpowered Kirk suit.
Yes.
Yes.
The greatest American Pike. It all comes from the suit.
Shatner probably would have gone along with it.
Yeah, yes, of course he would have. It'd be a paycheck.
All right, I'm going to get going.
Okay, I'm going to end the stream because Diecast has to go.
Well,
all right.
Can I get 2 minutes? Are we still streaming?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
People watching live, I'm going to end the stream.
Good night, everybody.
Because Don needs to tell us something important. So we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Twitch.